All right, everybody. Opendoor Technology did good after hours. And the reason why, because we got a new CEO. And the CEO is pretty good. I just read his profile and I like what I see. I'll show it in a little bit. But the new CEO is going to be very positive for this stock. And we didn't go up only because the new CEO. We had some good data news this morning. It didn't really do much for the stock. Maybe they wanted to shake and bake all the weak hands so they would sell for this news right here, because we actually had some good news this morning for the housing market and the stock went down. So I was kind of surprised. As I said before, we hold that $5.75 in the $5.50 area. We'd have been good. We held $5.75 and the news about the new CEO came out and went straight up. Opendoor went straight up. Let's look at the chart. I usually start off with the weekly chart, but the weekly is not going to show the after hours, nor is the daily chart. But the 1 hour will show the after hours movement. And here it is. Look at that. That is amazing. These candlesticks were formed for numerous reasons. Like I said before, the data report this morning was actually good. I'm going to show that in a second. And then we had the new CEO. And also, this is somewhat of a short squeeze. This is also a combination of a short squeeze. When you go from 557 low all the way to $8.18 after hours, that's going to be a combination of a short squeeze and investors getting in on this stock. Because I like the new CEO. I'm going to show you a short profile of this new CEO and what he has done prior to coming to Opendoor. All right, let's look at the 15-minute mark. The 15-minute mark is straight up from 584 to 795. We had some resistance at 795, and then we came up to 819. It's a possibility that it may dip below $8 again at some point. Maybe at open, people are going to want to take some profit, and it may go below $8 possibly. But if we have a lot of new investors getting in on this and hearing about the news, it could go up even more before it goes back below $8. So I'm thinking it may go, below $8 when the market opens, or it may pump up some more and then go below $8. So we got to see what happens there. Here's the 5-minute again, more detailed look of what's going on after hours. And once again, $8.59 resistance on the after hours, and the support right now after hours is around the $7.81, $7.85 after hour support. That's what we're looking at the moment. $7.85 resistance, $8.59. So where is the resistance if we do hold $8? So the first resistance is going to be at the previous high after hours. I would say $8.60, and then we want to go back far back to see where the previous resistance is at. Going back to 2022 again, I think, right? Yeah, we're on our way back to 2022 once again. If we, break that previous resistance on the after hours. So the next resistance is going to be at the $8.70, $8.75 for resistance for Opendoor. Then after that, the next resistance is going to be at the $10 almost. Let's see. Let me make sure. Look like $8. Let me make sure though. Hold on. $8.75. Then after $8.75, wow. So once we break $8.75, there's not even a lot of resistance to $10. That's going to be amazing right there. So we're closer than we think to $10. We're closer than we think. So if we get some more good news, some interest rate cuts, and the housing market start to go the right direction, we break that $8.75, this thing could start really moving big time. Because after $8.75, there's not much in the way of $10 at all. Not much in the way. We could be at double digits before you know it. When? We don't know yet. But the only thing I can say is there's not a lot of resistance after $8.75. The first thing I want to show you is that the report for today. A lot of people didn't talk about the report. I'm so very surprised. The MBA 30-year mortgage rate. Let's click on it. It says the average contract interest rate for 30-year fixed rate mortgages fell sharply in the U.S. to 6.49%. Previously, it was at 6.64%. So it went down a lot. It says the decline follows a drop in Treasury yields after a weaker than expected jobs report fueled expectations that the Fed will resume interest rate cuts this month. Mortgage rates declined for the second consecutive week as Treasury yields moved lower on data indicating that the labor market is weakening. So the mortgage rate went down sharply. And a lot of people didn't say nothing about it. But when I saw that, I said, oh yeah, this is good news for Opendoor. But, it went down anyway because, the market was going down. People are profit taking. And like I said before, this could have been a shake to get the weaker hands to sell, so the strong hands pick up the shares for this announcement on after hours. Now here we are with the MBA mortgage applications. The volume of mortgage applications in the U.S. rose by 9.2% from the previous week. Again, good news for the housing industry. Mortgage applications rose. More people are applying for mortgages. This is good news. No one said anything about it. But when I saw this, I said, okay, let's see what happens. In 8:30, we had the PPI report, and you saw what happened to that. The market didn't like it that much. The Qs ETF, if you follow that, went down pretty much all day today. So Thursday, 8:30 report, the core inflation rate at 8:30 a.m. So that's what we're looking at. 8:30 a.m. will have an impact on the market and possibly Opendoor as well. Now here we are. This is what we've all been waiting for. The new CEO. This is what it says. Opendoor new CEO, Kaz, who previously served as the Chief Operating Officer and Vice President of Opendoor's new CEO, who previously served as the Chief Operating Officer and Vice President of Product at Shopify. Great company. Shopify, great company. His appointment, announced on September 10th, follows the resignation of the former CEO, Kerry Wheeler, and includes his joining Opendoor's board of directors. So that's good. All right, so now we know a little bit about him, but let's look at the key details of what this guy is all about. He was a key executive at Shopify, where he built products and teams at scale. He is known for his product innovation and understanding of AI's potential to reshape operations. And that's the big one right there. That's it. That is a big one. That's probably the biggest one out of all these key details, is that he understands the AI potential to reshape operations. And remember, Opendoor said not too long ago, they said they're going to try to integrate AI into the app to make things much better. And this is the guy to do it. You got the right guy for it right here. His prior experience includes founding the payment technology company Cash. Nice. Very nice. Also, his appointment coincides with the return of Opendoor co-founders Keith Rabois and Eric Wu to the board of directors. The band is back together again. We're all back. We're back. Opendoor. We got the CEO who knows how to get things going. He knows about product innovation. He knows about AI. He understands the potential of AI. And the co-founders are back to the board of directors. Yeah. If this is not bullish, I don't know what is. That's huge. That's very, very huge. So yeah, great news for Opendoor. Great after hours. And it shows that people like the CEO, the new CEO. So subscribe, like, comment, and sign up to the Discord. My Discord link is in the profile. See you there. Take care.